and welcome to A God Shift with Shayna Rattler. I am a minister and life coach who helps individuals partner with God to embrace disruption and confidently enter into the next chapter of their life. A God Shift is the moment a disruption in your life collides with God's purpose and moves you into a greater destiny. God uses this disruption to get our attention and invite us into the life that He has planned for us. It's important that we discover what it is that He wants us to see, what we are to learn, and where it is that He needs us next. Today, we are discussing the importance of being uncomfortable. Life has a way of putting us in uncomfortable situations that we would otherwise attempt to avoid it. Growth requires you to be willing to get uncomfortable. And if you are willing to get uncomfortable, it will allow you to move forward in a powerful way. Here are 4 points to consider the next time life puts you in uncomfortable circumstances. Number 1, comfort is the absence of pressure. So if you are not experiencing any pressure, that means that you either need to play bigger or you are not in action at all. And you have to stop wanting to be someone that never goes through anything. Number 2, your discomfort forces you to rely on your faith. You're not as likely to grow your faith without the discomfort, and it is impossible to please God without faith. Number 3, your discomfort is confirmation that you are on the right track. Because listen, your goals should scare you. If you are looking to accomplish something that you can either do on your own or do quickly, that is not a goal, that's a task. And there is a difference. And then number 4, regrowth, it sometimes requires failure. As long as you move forward, don't internalize it and realize that it's not your identity. Because what did not happen has nothing to do with who you are. When we come back from the break, I have a guest that is going to share with you what is currently happening in the middle of her God shift. We'll be right back. Get lost in the pages of our latest book and discover the destiny you were created for. Another dimension of possibility awaits you, but a God shift is required to reveal it and access it. In A God Shift, a divine move from disruption to destiny, Shayna Rattler takes you on the journey of how she turned a once highly successful business that failed fast and left her questioning where God was taking her next into a thriving ministry and fulfilling life that affords her the opportunity to help others grow their faith and successfully navigate the seasons of life. This inspirational guide outlines the steps to confidently put your God shift in motion. Your next chapter is waiting. Are you ready to shift? Grab your copy at agodshiftbook.com. Are you looking for ways to support the God Shift movement and others in need? Grab one of our premium tees at agodshift.com/shop and we will donate 20% of the sales to the National Christian Foundation. These t-shirts are made of 100% premium soft cotton, come in white women's fit and black traditional fit, and are available in sizes extra small through 4X. It's time to embrace disruption, collide with God's purpose, and confidently shift into the next chapter of your life. Share your shift with the world by proudly wearing a God Shift t-shirt. Grab one for yourself and those you love at agodshift.com/shop. Welcome back. My guest today was forced into an uncomfortable situation that she had no way to see it coming. And now she's trying to learn exactly how she can embrace that disruption. Let's find out how it's going. Welcome to the show, Cass Dodson.
Hi, Shayna. How are you?
I'm doing good, Cass. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me, you gracious host.
Thank you. So I'm so excited to share your story with the audience. So tell us, what uncomfortable situations and disruption is God currently allowing you to experience?
Oh, it feels like so much right now, but I will just take you on a slight journey with me. Will you go with me for a second?
I'll go with you.
Well, let's go. So it was August 13th, 2020. It was a typical work day, Thursday morning. I got up and I decided I was going to go on one of my worship walks. I hadn't been consistent with doing that, but when I would go for a walk in the morning in my neighborhood, I'd play my worship music and I'd just let God have his way and get me ready for the day. So on this worship walk, I started to feel the presence of my grandmother, who's deceased, very heavily, and I'm a granny girl. So I think she was trying to get near me because something was about to happen that she needed to be able to hold me in the spirit. I kept walking and randomly started thinking about the Gulf Shores of Alabama.
Wow.
Why would I be thinking of this, you say? Because my grandmother used to go there every year for a work trip, and she bragged about it. And we're an Alabama family. So I can't believe I still, to this very day, have not been, but by the end of that walk, heading into my house, I said, I'm gonna go to the Gulf Shores like my granny.
Okay.
Start the work day, because I worked from home remotely and had been doing that for over 10 years. And an issue came up. I'm a project manager and a portfolio manager, so things happen. I'm here to solve problems. I worked this issue down and it's still kind of going a little bit, but I had a pop-up on my calendar that said it was time for my bi-weekly one-on-one with my manager. So I'm just awaiting for her call because that's how we normally do it. She would call me. I eventually get the call. It was a little delayed, but she called me and she told me, hey Cass, I need you to join a conference call. That was abnormal, but I thought nothing of it. Joined it and I was like, hey, and my normal self, she began being very scripted and formal. And I'm thinking,
This is unusual.
This is unusual because we're anything but scripted and formal together. We had a rapport. So with that being said, she introduced a representative from HR and I knew then something was not right. She began to read the script and become emotional and her voice began to crack and I'm starting to not hear everything she's saying, but I ultimately heard that in 30 days, your position will be eliminated.
Wow.
I literally lost my breath in that moment because I wasn't thinking about my livelihood either. I was thinking about my medical costs. I have asthma, so my inhaler costs $500 a month if I don't have insurance. So I immediately went there, which gives you an understanding of what this country is like with healthcare.
Right.
But that's a side note.
Right.
So I continue to listen and I'm just thinking, I have 30 days to get a job or I'm going to be what I haven't been since I was 14 years old, unemployed.
Wow.
I was flabbergasted, and I want to put this in a frame of reference for you. 30 days before that moment, I had been featured in the company's newsletter, one of their many newsletters, for my great work ethic, my ability to motivate a team, and get things done. My picture was flashing and everything. So to say that I saw a layoff coming,
Right.
I did not.
Never.
I did not see that coming. So I felt a complete sucker gut punch.
God. So, you know, this is really interesting. So you're sitting here, you're like, I've been on this job for 10 years.
16, actually.
16 years.
16 years.
And I know that I've been doing a great job because I've been recognized and I've been rewarded, right? And so now this job, you know, you're completely blindsided and this job is taken away from you. And so I can imagine, you know, the things that are going through your mind, like, why is this happening? So in your opinion, like, what do you think it is that God is trying to get you to see?
Well, you know, I've battled with that question because truthfully, I don't know what he's trying to get me to see fully yet. And I'll tell you why that is, because I've probably been blocking it because of the way that I handled this situation. Of course, in my flesh, I was hurt, I was disappointed, I was angry. So I can suspect that he wants me to do something different. He wants me to shift. He wants me to have something better, something new. But I will tell you, I had absolutely no intention of leaving a company that had grew me up.
Right.
It was where I started a year after college. So 16 years, and I'd excelled. I was making great money. So I had no reason to really go. But I will tell you this, for the past 3 years, give or take, maybe even 4, I hadn't been very happy at the company. It was no longer the greatest place to work as it used to be, but I stayed. And let me tell you why. Dollar, dollar bill, darling. I was making great money. And sometimes money, honey, will hold you. So I was comfortably uncomfortable.
Yeah. So, you know, what my guest is describing is what I like to call golden handcuffs. You know, there's a place in your life that God is telling you that you don't need to be there anymore. And he's even giving you the signs. He's allowing you to feel discomfort. He's allowing you to feel no longer as fulfilled. He's allowing you to feel like, I'm not quite as satisfied anymore. But those golden handcuffs say, but I need medical insurance. I need this dollar bill, y'all. Like, why am I going to walk away from something that is so great? So sometimes you're going to be asked to let go of trash, and other times you're going to be asked to let go of treasures. So we're going to go to a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to learn some of the challenges that Cass is experiencing. We'll be right back.
Ready for it, got it.
Get lost in the pages of our latest book and discover the destiny you were created for. Another dimension of possibility awaits you, but a God shift is required to reveal it and access it. In A God Shift, a divine move from disruption to destiny, Shayna Rattler takes you on the journey of how she turned a once highly successful business that failed fast and left her questioning where God was taking her next into a thriving ministry and fulfilling life that affords her the opportunity to help others grow their faith and successfully navigate the seasons of life. This inspirational guide outlines the steps to confidently put your God shift in motion. Your next chapter is waiting. Are you ready to shift? Grab your copy at agodshiftbook.com.
Prisoner of Hope introduces The Vault, a membership community offering a library of videos designed to prepare and support you.
Many others, including myself, have gone through the long battle with the American justice system and have come out on the other side.
The Vault was created by families impacted by incarceration, along with experts. We know how to help because we've experienced it firsthand.
Remember, there is always a light at the end of the tunnel.
It's time to unlock your freedom in The Vault. Sign up now at prisonerofhopetv.com.
But it's gonna be worth it all. Get ready for a God shift, calling you higher, calling for greater. It's time to move. Your next chapter is waiting now. It may be difficult, but it's gonna be worth it all. Get ready for a God shift, ready for a God shift.
Welcome back. Before the break, my guest was sharing with us how she lost her amazing job of 16 years. Let's find out a little bit more about her God shift. So Cass, before the break, you were telling us, you've been on this job for 16 years. Yes. You would have never seen it coming because you were just highlighted 30 days before you were let go. You're in the middle of your God shift. What is the biggest challenge that you're experiencing right now?
Well, Shayna, I want to break that down a little bit. There's kind of three things happening simultaneously for me.
Okay.
The first thing, but I'm kind of getting over this first one, was grasping that it actually happened. I was actually released from my job, and I did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
I did nothing to warrant this to happen. And people spoke that into me, but I couldn't really receive it because I immediately think, what could I have done differently to avoid this? But it was a numbers game, and I had to start working on accepting that.
Yeah.
The other part of this is, I'm not from Houston. I have been in Houston since late 2018, and I moved here on a leap of faith, trying to do something different and to get out of my comfort zone of being at home in Indianapolis, Indiana. But that's where my network is, my strongest network.
Yeah.
Probably if I was at home, I'd be maneuvering a little differently right now. I probably even have a new opportunity. Some people have already told me, well, if you come back home, I got you.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily want to go back, but maneuvering in a new place feels very uncomfortable, and that's a challenge for me. And then lastly, let's be clear, I said I was there 16 years, right?
Yeah.
You got me? So I didn't do a whole lot of interviewing externally. I went for jobs internally, and most times didn't even have to interview for them.
You didn't need to.
My work spoke for itself, so the
Yeah.
doors open. So let's be clear, being back in the market right now, interviewing and applying for jobs is very different than 2004 when I interviewed for the company that I was with previously. The last time I had an internal interview up until this point was 2011, and I got the job, and that was internal. So those are some of the strongest challenges that I'm facing at this time. Grasping it, that it happened, being in a whole new place where it's not comfortable, no real family here, no foundation, no network, and then sitting in the space of, I am new to this new world of how to apply and be competitive in the job market.
Absolutely. You know, one of the things that we have to always be so cautious of and be, you know, that we have to remember is that things happen for us, not to us. And many of the things that happen in our lives, they have to happen, because here's what I know. Even though you weren't unhappy on that job, you weren't unhappy enough to leave. So there's this story about this man and a dog, and this man walks past this dog every single day, and he's like, this dog is crying. Walks by this dog next day, the dog is still crying. On the third day, he asked the owner, why is this dog crying? And he said, well, he's uncomfortable enough to cry about it, but he's not uncomfortable enough to move. And that's where you were. You were in a job that you were uncomfortable, but you weren't uncomfortable enough to move. And the fact that God needs you somewhere else next, and more importantly, there's somewhere that you're going to be required to leave next. If he didn't take it away from you, you would have never left it.
Absolutely, I agree.
Right, so it's very important that we remember that the things that happen to us, instead of us asking, you know, why did this happen? We have to ask ourselves, what do I need to do next? Like, you know, give so much more authority to that. So let's talk about your, your God relationship during this time. So you're experiencing this challenge. Lord, why did this have to happen? I haven't been employed, and I haven't been unemployed. Now I'm trying to figure out how to navigate this new job market in a pandemic, mind you. So how has this God shift affected either your faith or your relationship with God?
Oh, well, I tell you. I have to be very transparent and truthful with you, right? I, in my spirit man, spirit woman, understand that all things work together for the good of them that love the Lord and are called according to his purpose.
That's what it says.
Hallelujah.
That's what it says.
That, right? And at some point, I know all this is going to work together for my good. At some point, there's going to be a change. At some point, this will be over.
I want to stop you, and I want to correct your language.
Okay.
It's already working together. It's
hallelujah.
already coming together.
Hallelujah.
God has already done everything that it is that he's going to do. The word says that before you were born, while you were in your mother's womb, I knew you, I formed you, I consecrated you. So everything that in your life, you haven't seen it with your natural eyes. So check your language, because it's not going to happen at some point. It's already happened. It's just now time for you to step into it.
Okay. Well, I will receive that. But in my mind, that point hasn't happened yet.
Yes.
So my flesh is pissed.
That's all right.
My flesh is angry that this occurred.
Absolutely. And I'm glad that you're saying that, because it's okay to be pissed.
Yes.
And God can handle it.
Yes, he can.
It's okay for you to say to him, you know what, God, I'm pissed.
And I do.
I understand that it's working together for my good, but it doesn't feel good.
It does not feel good
Right?
at all. And it never does when he's taking us from place to place, and being a woman or a man in transition, you are moving to something new, and it doesn't feel good.
Absolutely. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to learn a little bit more about where Cass is now. We'll be right back.
Ready for a gossip.
Hey guys, I am so excited to share something really cool with you. There's an organization called Black Christian Influencers that has some amazing people, some that you may know, some that you may not, but they all are doing some amazing work in the kingdom. So if you can, go on over to the page at Black Christian Influencers, or you can visit the website at www.blackchristianinfluencers.com.
Are you looking for ways to support the God Shift movement and others in need? Grab one of our premium tees at agodshift.com/shop, and we will donate 20% of the sales to the National Christian Foundation. These t-shirts are made of 100% premium soft cotton, come in white women's fit and black traditional fit, and are available in sizes extra small through 4X. It's time to embrace disruption, collide with God's purpose, and confidently shift into the next chapter of your life. Share your shift with the world by proudly wearing a God Shift t-shirt. Grab one for yourself and those you love at agodshift.com/shop.
But it's gonna be worth it all. Get ready for a gossip, calling you higher, calling for greater. It's time to move. Your next chapter is waiting.
Welcome back. Let's find out exactly where Cass is now. So Cass, tell us, during this process, what have you learned about yourself?
Well, actually, I'm still in the learning curve, and I'll admit that. But what I do know is that God makes provisions. So he did know this was coming, even though it caught me by surprise. So he made provisions for me, and I did not leave empty-handed. So I haven't been destitute financially, which was one of my greatest fears. Now, the saga still continues.
Yeah.
So I'm still, as I say, temporarily gainfully unemployed, darling. But the saga still continues. So what I've learned is he does make provisions, and he will take care of me. What I also have learned is that I despise being told that I'm strong. As if I'm so superhuman that this should just be something that I leap right over. Like, girl, you're so strong, you're good, you have provisions in place, you're good. No, I'm not superhuman. Just because I've endured some things and overcome in the past doesn't mean I don't have moments of weakness. That doesn't mean that I don't feel like I don't have the strength to move on sometimes.
Yeah.
And I need a little bit of patience and love and understanding. And I would encourage all people to just stop telling, especially black women, girl, you strong. Because my manager even had the audacity to
and
say
they take
that to
away
me.
your permission
Yeah.
to feel.
Yeah.
They take away your permission to be human.
Absolutely.
They take away your permission to go through the process that you need to go through, because now you feel a responsibility to
Absolutely.
live up to what they feel like they see in your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I just despise that, and I've learned that if nothing else, God makes provisions. And I am not a weak woman, let's be clear. I'm not a punk, honey, but I don't want to be with the mantle of this superhuman being that should just be able to get over it. 'Cause
Exactly.
it's a process.
Exactly. You can be strong and have a weak moment.
Absolutely.
It's okay. Give yourself permission to recognize that you can be strong and still be human, and you have the right to feel whatever it is that you want to feel. Now, let me say this. I'm only going to give you a minute to feel it.
Absolutely.
And then when
That's
that
fair.
minute is over, I need you to take action and move past it, but it's okay to feel it.
Yes. You know, an old pastor of mine said, even Christ got up in 3 days, so you get 3 days.
You get 3 days.
You get 3
I
days.
gave you a minute, Christ gave you 3 days.
Yes.
So tell us, look back at Cass 9 months ago,
Okay.
12 months ago.
Okay.
What advice would you give her?
I would give Cass the advice, she, me, her, me, she. Girlfriend, don't be complacent. Get out there, stay out there. Yes, I have a great network, but I did not stay in the job market looking for the next better thing. I thought what I had was great, so I didn't look for anything better. I would also tell myself to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because you do need to be able to transition quickly. And I just turned 40 as well. I didn't think I'd be figuring it out at 40, but I am now in a place that I'm gonna have to figure out some things that I haven't had to figure out before at 40. Now the difference is at 40 you should be a little bit more mature in how you handle things, and I am. And so I'm glad I didn't have this experience at 25.
Right.
But I would tell myself to just get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Reveal, deal, and heal is my life mantra.
I love that.
Reveal, deal, and heal. And I had to be still, and I've held this so close to my chest that now I'm here revealing and dealing, and I will be healing.
Yeah, that's good. Reveal,
deal, and heal. I tell that to
Deal
young ladies that I mentor all the
and
time.
heal.
And now I've got to walk that walk. And I've walked it before, let's be clear. But we forget that. We forget that we've gone through things before.
Yeah.
And now I'm in another season where I've got to reveal, which I'm here on the God shift.
Yeah.
Deal and heal.
Good for you. So here's what I want you to know. I hear the Lord saying that you think that your next season is not here. Your next season actually started 30 days before you got released for that job. But guess what? You already know that. So there are some things that you were already planting seeds for to do outside of the job. So what I need you to do is I need you to go home today, and I need you to create your 30-day plan for exactly what it is that you're going to do to make what you thought was just going to be your side hustle your main chick. Okay? So, you know, there's something that you were already preparing to do that you thought it was going to be, I'm just going to do this on the side. And that's why God had to take that job away from you, because he's ready for that baby to be birthed. So you need to recognize that everything that you went through was preparing you for that. So it's now time for you to put those plans in motion, get them out of your journal and into the world. But thank you so much. I appreciate you being here today. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me and allow me to be transparent in this moment and share my story.
Absolutely.
To be released so that I can get back stepping in my power.
Absolutely. There's going to be so many people who are blessed. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We'll be right back.
Ready for a God shift, God shift.
Get lost in the pages of our latest book and discover the destiny you were created for. Another dimension of possibility awaits you, but a God shift is required to reveal it and access it. In A God Shift, a divine move from disruption to destiny, Shayna Rattler takes you on the journey of how she turned a once highly successful business that failed fast and left her questioning where God was taking her next into a thriving ministry and fulfilling life that affords her the opportunity to help others grow their faith and successfully navigate the seasons of life. This inspirational guide outlines the steps to confidently put your God shift in motion. Your next chapter is waiting. Are you ready to shift? Grab your copy at agodshiftbook.com. Are you looking for ways to support the God Shift movement and others in need? Grab one of our premium tees at agodshift.com/shop and we will donate 20% of the sales to the National Christian Foundation. These t-shirts are made of 100% premium soft cotton, come in white women's fit and black traditional fit, and are available in sizes extra small through 4X. It's time to embrace disruption, collide with God's purpose, and confidently shift into the next chapter of your life. Share your shift with the world by proudly wearing a God Shift t-shirt. Grab one for yourself and those you love at agodshift.com/shop.
Get ready for a God shift, God shift.
On today's show, Cass shared how she lost her job unexpectedly and how she is trying to figure out how to navigate where to go next. It's important that you remember that your losses are your lessons. Regroup and focus on what will work. Trust the process, trust God, and enjoy the rewards of getting uncomfortable. If your life has been full of unexpected circumstances and you want to get unstuck into where God needs you next, download our free guide, When God Says Shift, at godsayshift.com. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I look forward to seeing you back here next week. Bye-bye.